They didn't break you. They revealed you. And that's what makes this dangerous. Because most men never recover from that moment, when the illusion shatters, and they realize they were never as in control as they thought. That's where you are right now. Not destroyed, exposed. And if you handle this wrong, you don't just stay down. You become predictable, forgettable, replaceable. But if you handle it right, you become something people can't read anymore, something they can't prepare for, something they quietly start fearing. Because broken men who rebuild correctly don't come back normal, they come back precise. Lesson 1. Pain doesn't weaken you, it reorganizes you. You remember the moment, when it hit. Not loud, not dramatic, just final. Someone you trusted shifted, something you built collapsed, and suddenly, you were alone with a version of reality no one warned you about. That's where most men make their first mistake. They label the pain as damage. But pain isn't damage, it's data. And most men are too emotional to read it. They numb it, distract from it, hide from it. Because looking directly at pain forces a question that destroys comfort. What part of me allowed this? That question is lethal, because it removes the luxury of blaming others. Pain shows you your blind spots, who you overestimated, where you were naive, where your ego made you slow. Law. Pain doesn't lie. People do. And once you start studying pain instead of escaping it, you stop repeating the same life with different faces. You stop trusting too quickly. You stop explaining yourself to the wrong people. You stop needing closure, because clarity replaced it. And that's when something shifts. Your presence becomes heavier, not louder, heavier. Lesson 2. Silence is not absence, it's control. Watch closely. When you stop talking, people get uncomfortable, because now they don't know where they stand with you. Most men talk to feel safe, to fill space, to avoid tension. But every word you speak is a piece of control you give away. You explain yourself, you lower your leverage, you react emotionally, you reveal your pressure points, you argue. You show them exactly how to manipulate you next time. They don't attack, they reposition. And you help them do it. The dangerous man does the opposite. He listens, he watches, he lets people expose themselves, because people always do. Give them time, give them space, and they'll tell you everything. Their insecurities, their intentions, their limits. Meanwhile, you give them nothing. And that imbalance, that's power. Law. The one who speaks less controls more. Silence forces others to project, and projection reveals truth faster than words ever will. Lesson 3. If they can trigger you, they own you. This is where most men collapse. Not in failure, not in pressure, but in reaction. You've seen it. You've felt it. That moment when someone says, just enough, to pull emotion out of you. And suddenly, you're not thinking. You're responding. That's not expression. That's exposure. And once someone sees what controls your emotions, they don't need to fight you. They just need to press the right button. A look, a tone, a delay in response, and you spiral. That's not weakness. That's untrained power. Because emotion itself isn't the problem. Lack of control is. The man who feels nothing is useless. The man who feels everything, but chooses his response, unpredictable. And unpredictability is where power lives. When they expect anger, and you give them nothing. When they expect insecurity, and you stay still. When they expect reaction, and you observe instead. They lose balance. And once they lose balance, they start making mistakes. Law. Emotional men react. Strategic men decide. You don't win by feeling less. You win by choosing when it matters. Lesson 4. Your circle is either sharpening you or softening you. This one cuts deeper than most admit, because it's not obvious. No one walks up and says, "I'm going to keep you average." They smile. They support you just enough. They joke. They care. But watch closely. When you start improving, something shifts. Subtle, but real. They interrupt more. They downplay your wins. They go quiet when you level up, because your growth forces comparison, and comparison creates pressure, and pressure creates resentment. They don't need to destroy you. They just need you to stay where they're comfortable. That's how mediocrity spreads. Quietly, socially, gradually. And if you're not paying attention, you'll call it loyalty. Law. People don't hate your success. They hate what it reflects about them. And here's the part most men avoid. Some people don't leave your life. You outgrow them, and holding on to them is choosing your past over your potential. Lesson 5. Never announce what you're building. This is where ambition gets killed early, not by failure, by exposure. You tell people your plans. They nod. They smile. They say, "That's big." But internally, they're calculating, doubting, comparing. And worst of all, they're influencing you, not directly, but subtly. A comment here, a question there, a small hesitation planted at the wrong time. And now your certainty is fractured, because you invited opinions into something that wasn't finished. Strong men build in silence. Weak men perform in public, because validation feels like progress. But it isn't. It's a substitute. And substitutes never build power. They delay it. Law. Announced plans attract resistance. Silent execution builds dominance. Move quietly. So when you finally appear, there's nothing left to debate. Lesson 6. Timing beats force. Most men ruin their own rise, not because they lack ability, but because they lack patience. They move too early, speak too soon, react too fast. Because waiting feels like losing. But it's not. It's positioning. Strategic patience isn't doing nothing. It's watching everything. It's knowing when not to act. Because premature action creates unnecessary resistance. And resistance drains energy. The patient man? He lets situations develop, let people expose themselves, let timing align. Then he moves once, and it lands, clean, final, effective. Law. Impatient men fight battles. Patient men choose victories. And that difference decides everything. But there's a moment where everything changes. Not when you rise, not when you win, but when people notice you're slipping. This is where the illusion dies. This is where the game becomes real. Because here's what no one tells you. They see it. They see when you're off. They see when you're struggling. They see when your energy drops. And this is the part that hits hardest. They understand your situation. They know what you're going through. They could help. Easily. But they don't. They stay quiet. They step back. They observe. They let it unfold. They knew you were slipping and chose not to stop it. They didn't misunderstand you. They understood you perfectly and stayed silent. Because your fall removed pressure from their life. Your struggle made them feel safe again. They don't need to destroy you. They just need to watch you fall and feel nothing. And some of them feel relief. That's the reality. Not everyone is against you, but most people are for themselves. And when those interests conflict, you become optional. That's the cold peak. That's where boys break and men detach. Because now you see clearly. No illusions, no expectations, no emotional contracts, just reality. And from that point forward, you move differently. Lesson 7. Reinvention is not growth. It's replacement. You don't fix the old version of you. You eliminate him. Because that version made decisions that led here, trusted wrong, moved wrong, reacted wrong. And if you keep him, you repeat him. Real power begins when you stop identifying with your past, not learning from it, detaching from it. You start to realize you don't owe consistency to a version of yourself that no longer works. Eventually, you stop explaining your evolution. You stop justifying your distance. You stop apologizing for your shift. Because evolution always looks like betrayal to people who benefited from your limitations. You become harder to read, harder to predict, harder to access. And that's when it happens. People stop trying to control you and start trying to understand you. Too late. Because now, you're already ahead. Final truth, they don't hate you. They hate what wakes up inside them. When you stop playing the version of you they were comfortable with. And once you see that clearly, you stop trying to be liked. You start becoming untouchable.